Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Howard Kakwadash, and I'm saying double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. I wanted to, and peace blessed to the hopefully elect, I wanted to add to what the elder brother Benji's video from GMS Chicago titled that video Folly. I really don't need to add anything because the video, he hits it home, by itself. But basically what happens is he played this Kevin Samuels clip at the beginning, and the video basically, it was a short, and it was captioned Kevin Samuels, less money, less demand. That's what he's saying. And what Kevin Samuels was saying was that if you had a man that was making $5,000 a month, so basically he's making good money, he has the right to demand that his woman be obedient to him and respect him. Whereas if a man doesn't make that kind of money, he can't afford to demand obedience or respect from a woman. And the brother who shared it amongst the little group chat was speaking as if he's like in agreement with it. Like, yeah. I mean, if you ain't bringing that kind of money, you can't expect no woman to, X, Y, Z. So that's why the brother did the video, rebuking that spirit, that thought process, because it's really of the world. And you know what happens, right? I'm pretty sure that's a young man, a young brother. What happens is, and most of the brothers in Chicago, as you can see, they're, for the most part, you're all young men. But what happens is when you're growing up in this world, right, you're growing up in this truth, you start to measure yourself. You're going on social media, you're probably looking at red pill videos. Like me personally, I'd never watched Kevin Samuels. Just didn't need to, different people for different audiences or whatever. But you start to measure yourself, and you start to try to find your value, right? And you're trying to use really what the world is saying to measure your value. And one of them you probably think is money. And it's really because of women, right? You think because if you can make the more money, then you have more power, right? Then you can earn respect. Money doesn't equal respect. And money doesn't value the amount of money you make doesn't value your worth. See, that's what the world would try to teach you and try to, so like what Kevin Samuels said was actually foolish. It was actually foolish because he ain't got the truth, he ain't got the wisdom. But again, these are people who don't have the truth. They're in the world, so they're only looking at carnal things. And they know that the nature of women is that what? Women are hypergamous by nature. They're always looking to climb the ladder, and they're attracted to money. They can smell money from a mile away. And men desire women. Men don't just desire any women. They want the so-called high quality according to today's standard, which is just basically beautiful and comely on the outside. That's it, and probably some exotic women, etc. And you know that as a man, if you can increase your money, then you can increase the attraction of the women. But to think that your money value determines your value, or to think that because if you don't have enough money, you can't ask a woman or demand that a woman have obedience and respect to you, hell no, man, that's foolish. That's foolish, and that's just worldly talk. That's just worldly talk, man. And even the brother put a comment on there, 1 Corinthians 11:9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So nowhere in the scriptures does it say that a man's, depending on how much a man makes, is determined on his value, because it's all for women anyway. Like, hell no, man. Like, what are you talking about? The woman was created for the man, period. Her job is to obey her husband. Does not matter how much money he makes. If he's doing his husbandly duties, which is to provide, food, shelter, etc., she's supposed to obey that man. She don't get to buck up against him and say, "Well, I only get to follow you if you meet these requirements." What are you, crazy? Hell no, man. So if you ain't bringing in that kind of money, you can't expect no woman to obey you or to respect you, man. That's foolishness, man. But I know it's just it's worldly talk, right? It's worldly talk. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. So just like the elder harped on, the true riches anyway, the true riches are these scriptures. The true riches are the scriptures. This is the value right here in these scriptures right here. The prophecy said that Isaiah 4:1 is gonna happen. So what's the true riches? And they're gonna obey your every command. What's the true riches? It's the truth. It's not tangible money or anything like that. It's the scriptures. It's always has been the scriptures, always will be the scriptures. This knowledge, these are the true riches. And just because you don't bring in what, 5,000 a month, which is equivalent to what, I guess I'm assuming that's net pay, not gross pay. I'm assuming that's after taxes. That's at least what, 60K? Is that 60K a year or something like that? Right? So basically, that's basically good money if you can make 5K a month after taxes. And just because if you ain't getting that, then a woman, you can't expect a woman to, obey you or respect you. That's insane, man. That's what the people in the world think. We're in this truth. We understand what the real value is. But like I said, you're growing up in this world. You're trying to attract the women. You start to get some money in your pocket. So it means you start to attract these women, and you start to feel good about yourself. And then you start to think like, yeah, this is what really values a man. Not true. Your value is based upon principles, man. It's based upon these scriptures. It does not matter how much money you make or what women you get. A lot of men think that. A lot of men do honestly think that your value is based off of how many women you can get, how many women you do get. Just like growing up. What do you hear growing up in schools when you wanted to make fun of each other, joan on each other? Yeah. I get more pussy than you. Yeah, but you don't get no bitches though. And there's like a little competition, right? I do get bitches. I get more bitches than you. But that's what children think. Isn't that children argument? And then eventually you grow up to the point where you realize that's a stupid ass argument, right? Just like I got more money than you. Yeah, I got more money than you. It's like, okay. Those are stuff you say when you're a child. But you don't hear adults going around saying that. And those are the fools. Those are the fools. Right? Just throwing, look, I got more stacks than you. You only got 3 cars, I got 5 cars. Like get your money up. As if how much money is a direct display of your value as a man. Are you kidding me? The celebrities and rappers in hip hop world, they make the most money, but yet they're the biggest fools. They're the biggest idiots. They have no hope for salvation because they don't have this truth. So if you understand that, how could you come back and still say that your value is based upon how much money you make or how many women you can get? The woman was created for the man, not men, you. And man is supposed to make the money. The money not supposed to make you. Many people are in the grave or in prison because they let money make them. You're supposed to make the money. All right, man wasn't put on this earth for money. Okay, the money was put on this earth for man. But you gotta have the discipline and the principles to know, like, okay, yep, you gotta make the money. The money can't make you. And women were created for you, not you them. And your measure is not based upon how much money you can make or how many women you can get. Many do think that though. They think, I can get women, that means I'm somebody. Bro, the scripture says that a woman will receive any man, meaning a woman will sleep with anybody. The 2/3 ghetto, sexy red wannabe hood rat on the street selling box on the corner has multiple men, has several kids. They the ones that got all the kids in the projects on government funding, Section 8. So because somebody can knock them up or take them as a woman, does that mean that man is? Does that mean that man is somebody because he can sleep with a woman? What? Or sleep with these hood rats or have these women or have kids by them? What? No, man. That's all worldly talking. It's really as when you're a child. You say those things, but once you get an adult, you don't say those things no more. 1 Corinthians 13, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Like I said, we used to say those things when we were kids, right? I got more money than you. Okay, but I get more bitches than you. you know, a little back and forth stuff, and you heard kids talk about it, you know, because what, they're kids. But once they get into adult, then they have understanding, and then they understand more like, yeah, we were just fooling around, because your true measure of a man isn't based upon how much money you make. To say, unless you bring in that kind of money, you can't demand that a woman has respect for you. What are you, insane, man? That's worldly talk. Hell no, man. Hell no. Go back to Proverbs. Just gonna read everything that, you know, Mr. King Solomon says, because this is a man that had it all. He had it all. And how much and how much how many good things did he have to say about women? He had to say very little. But he definitely warned you more about the woman and the shame of a woman. Yet he had it all. And in the end, he praised what? Wisdom, and said wisdom is the true riches. So how could you think that? But again, that's what happens. You're growing up, you're becoming a man, you probably get some money in your pocket, probably getting some women every night, and then you start to feel yourself, and then you start to attach on to listening to Kevin Samuels and stuff like that. You're starting to latch on to that worldly wisdom. No, man. That's not worldly, that's not wisdom. Proverbs 16. Verse 8, better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues, much money, substance, whatever. That includes women too, without right. So it's this truth that's the true revenues, man. You know? Proverbs 28. And there's many scriptures you can read. I'm just hitting a few. Okay, Proverbs 26. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. So who's better? Who's better? And there's no one in the scriptures that tell you that the more riches you have, the more valuable you are. No, that's worldly talk. That's what people in the world think. And a lot of them have to what? Hit everything, get it all, and in the end realize that they what? Are still pieces of shit, and realize that it ain't nothing. They literally sit there and say, okay, I done did it all. I done had all these women. I got all these women to the drop of my dime. They obey my every command. I got all this money. I got all these cars, and it still don't mean nothing. Because one thing money can't buy you is respect. You know? If anything, it'll just lead you to destruction if you not control the discipline. So what really matters is your principles. And your principles, in some way, shape, or form, have to go back to the scriptures. And the true riches are the scriptures. So, yes, that video is folly. You know, Jake gotta stop latching on to worldly wisdom and think about the wisdom of the scriptures, because this is the true riches. This is, in the eyes of the Lord, this is what you're measured off of, your values, your principles, according to the scriptures, your understanding, your knowledge, the light that you have, right? Not no worldly wisdom and if you ain't making enough money, you can't demand respect from a woman. That's insane, man. So no, come on, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Stick to the scriptures and stop listening so much to these worldly red pill wisdom guys, because they ain't got the truth. Okay? Shalom.